Millionaire walks into a restaurant and freezes when he sees his black pregnant ex-wife, beginning the return. Marcus Hale had spent the last decade building an empire out of nothing but steel, fire, and vision. A self-made millionaire in the city of New Avalon, a metropolis of glass towers and hovering cars, Marcus was the name behind Hale Tech Industries, the company that had perfected Neuralink technology and turned humanity into something closer to machine than flesh. He was 38 now, fit in his tailored suit, a man whose very presence bent boardrooms to his will. Yet for all his wealth, he lived alone in a penthouse that overlooked a skyline he never admired. Business had consumed him, but sometimes, when the city lights flickered against his window, he thought about her. Naomi. The name was both a knife and a bomb. Naomi Lewis had been his wife once, 10 years ago, before Hale Tech swallowed his life whole. Naomi, with her deep brown skin that glowed under moonlight, with laughter that once softened even his coldest moods. Naomi, who had begged him to slow down, to live, to love, to be more than a machine in pursuit of profit. But he hadn't listened. Their divorce papers were signed in silence, their futures diverging like stars scattered across the void. He told himself she had moved on. He told himself he didn't care. Until that night, Marcus had no plans when his driver suggested Vela's, a restaurant perched on the edge of the riverfront, famous for serving imported delicacies from the Martian colonies. He almost declined, but something made him say yes. Perhaps it was a pull of nostalgia. Vela's had been Naomi's favorite place before it became popular, before the galaxy knew its name. The moment he stepped inside, everything changed. The restaurant hummed with soft music, light refracting off water tanks holding exotic fish. Marcus adjusted his cufflinks, scanning the tables automatically when his eyes froze. She was there, Naomi, sitting by the window, her hand resting protectively over a swollen belly, pregnant, radiant, and very much alive in his world again. Marcus's breath caught. For the first time in years, the unshakable titan of Hale Tech was shaken to his core. Middle, a collision of worlds. Naomi noticed him almost instantly. Her eyes widened and then narrowed. Marcus saw the war flash behind him, the instinct to look away versus a compulsion to stare back. At last, she exhaled and raised her chin, a silent declaration. I am not the same woman you left. Marcus approached before he even knew what he was doing. Naomi, he said, his voice rougher than he intended. It's been a long time. She looked up at him, calm, guarded. Marcus, I didn't expect to see you here. I didn't expect to see you either. His eyes flicked, inevitably to her belly. You're expecting. Her hand smoothed over the curve of her stomach, protective as a shield. Yes, 7 months. Marcus's mind spun. Who was the father? What life had she built without him? Why did it sting so much to see her carrying another man's child? He forced a smile. Congratulations. She studied him for a long moment. You haven't changed much. Still dressed like the city belongs to you. And you? Marcus faltered, searching for words. You look even more. He stopped himself. Praise felt dangerous. Too close to the past. Naomi raised an eyebrow. Even more what? Alive, he admitted softly. Happier. Her lips twitched, but she didn't smile. Instead, she gestured to the empty chair across from her. Sit if you want, but don't pretend this is easy. He sat, and suddenly, it was like 10 years melted away, though 1,000 walls stood between them, the past unspoken. They talked cautiously at first. She asked about Hale Tech, and he gave polite answers. He asked about her, and she hesitated, then told him she'd left Earth for 5 years, working in the outer colonies on humanitarian missions. She had returned only recently, settling into a quieter life on the riverfront. I didn't think you'd ever leave the colonies, Marcus said. You used to say Earth felt too heavy. It still does, Naomi replied, but there are reasons I came back. Her hand drifted over her stomach again. Marcus swallowed. And the father? Is he? Gone, Naomi said sharply, then softening. It's complicated. Marcus leaned forward, curiosity igniting with a strange, protective edge. Complicated how? She hesitated, eyes darting to the window, where neon light shimmered on the river's surface. Finally, she said, this isn't just an ordinary child, Marcus. You of all people should understand that. Something in her tone made the air around them feel heavier. Marcus frowned. What do you mean? Naomi's gaze locked on his, steady and unflinching. The father isn't human. He's not from Earth at all. Revelation. Marcus blinked. For a moment, he thought she was joking, some cruel way of shutting him out. But Naomi had never been one for lies. You're telling me, he lowered his voice, you're carrying an alien child? Naomi nodded slowly. His name was Kalen. He was from the Vega system. We met during one of my missions on the colonies. He was kind, gentle, everything I thought I'd never find again after you. Marcus's chest tightened at the comparison. Still, he pressed on. And where is he now? Dead. Naomi whispered. His ship was attacked by raiders 6 months ago. He didn't survive. The weight of her words silenced Marcus. He wanted to reach across the table, to take her hand, but something held him back. An invisible wall of grief, history, and unspoken truths. Naomi, I'm sorry. She nodded, tears threatening but unshed. I don't need your pity, Marcus. What I need is protection. Because Kaylin's child, our child, has become a target. Marcus's eyes narrowed. Target? She leaned closer. You don't understand. The Vega people, their DNA, carries abilities humanity can't comprehend. Hailtech has been chasing this research for years. Neural links, genetic modifications. My baby embodies everything corporations like yours would kill to possess. Marcus stiffened. She was right. Hailtech's competitors would tear galaxies apart for what she carried. Even within his own company, there were factions hungry for more power. You think they'll come after you? Marcus said slowly. I know they will, Naomi answered. They already have. 2 men followed me last week. I barely escaped. The choice. Marcus sat back, torn between the ruthless businessman he had become and the man who once loved her. Protecting Naomi meant putting himself against forces as dangerous as any alien war. It meant risking Hailtech, his empire, his future. And yet, when he looked at her, at the woman he had lost, at the child she carried, he knew the choice had already been made. You'll stay with me, he said firmly. My penthouse has the best security systems in New Avalon. No one will touch you. Naomi's eyes widened. Marcus, I can't. You can, he interrupted. And you will. If what you say is true, then you and that child are in danger. I won't let anyone hurt you. Her gaze softened, conflicted. Why? After everything, why would you do this for me? Marcus held her eyes. Because I never stopped loving you, Naomi. Not for 1 second. And if protecting you is the only thing I can do right, then I'll do it. Silence stretched between them, heavy with the past. At last, Naomi exhaled. All right. But if you're lying to me, Marcus, if this is about using my baby for your company, then I swear I'll disappear and you'll never find us again. He nodded solemnly. It's not about Hailtech. It's about you. The storm. For the next few weeks, Naomi lived in Marcus's penthouse. Old rhythms resurfaced between them. Awkward at first, then strangely familiar. He made her tea the way she liked it, with honey instead of sugar. She teased him for still working late into the night. Sometimes, when she laughed, Marcus felt like the man he had been a decade ago. But danger was never far. Drones began circling the building. Strange signals intercepted his secure networks. And one night, a squad of mercenaries broke through the lobby defenses, forcing Marcus's private security into a bloody standoff. Naomi watched it all with calm fear, her hand always on her belly. They won't stop, she whispered. They'll come until they succeed. Marcus tightened his fists. Then I'll make sure they never succeed. The climax. The final attack came on a stormy night. Lightning crackled across the sky as Marcus's penthouse shuddered under assault. Windows shattered, alarms blared. Naomi was rushed to the panic room, but Marcus stayed behind, fighting alongside his guards, determined to protect her. In the chaos, a masked figure breached the panic room itself. Naomi screamed as the intruder lunged for her, but Marcus arrived in time, throwing himself between them, taking a blade across his shoulder. Pain seared him, but he fought with everything he had. The intruder was strong, enhanced by cybernetics, but Marcus was relentless. At last, he drove the man back and collapsed, bleeding, as security dragged the attacker away. Naomi knelt beside him, tears spilling freely now. Marcus, you'll die. He gritted his teeth. Not until I see him. Your son. Ending a new future. Marcus survived. Weeks later, in a quiet hospital ward, Naomi gave birth to a boy. The child's skin shimmered faintly under the lights, a sign of his alien heritage. His eyes, impossibly bright, opened for the first time, and looked straight at Marcus. Naomi held him close, exhausted but radiant. His name is Kale, after his father. Marcus reached out, trembling, and touched the baby's tiny hand. The boy gripped his finger with surprising strength. Marcus felt something shift inside him, a resolve deeper than any business deal. Naomi watched him quietly. You're not his father, Marcus, but maybe you can be something else, if you choose to be. He looked at her, then at the child, and nodded. I choose this. I choose both of you. For the first time in years, Marcus Hale, the untouchable millionaire, felt whole, not because of his empire, not because of Hailtech, but because of the family he had lost and found again. And as the storm outside gave way to dawn, he knew one thing for certain. Protecting Naomi and Kale wasn't just his duty. It was his redemption.